Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Moore. Yet again, I want to sort of introduce you to what's called a compound inequality. Eighth grade curriculum doesn't exactly cover this. However, there may be a time that you actually know how to read something like this. I want to make sure that you do know how to read it. It may look sort of foreign to you at this point, but I assure you that it is not. And so the first thing that we want to do, everybody, is we want to make sure that we have pulled apart the entire expression that we have here. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to make two different expressions from this compound expression. The first of which is going to be our, let's see, we're going to change that to blue. So we have 1 is less than x. Okay, so basically what I've done is I pull this part out. Okay, that's the first part. Next, I want to take the other part of my compound inequality and state that one as well. Okay, now you may be asking yourself, what exactly does that mean, Mr. Moore? All that means is that we have one thing. Now, when you are dealing with inequalities, remember that whenever your x value is to the right of your inequality symbol, you are just as free to go ahead and turn that around. So if I wanted to say turn it around, okay, the way that I do that though, remember I have to deal with that inequality symbol by flipping it, okay? So basically what I want to do when I'm evaluating this is I'm going to put it in terms that I actually truly understand. This one, of course, is going to go, this one right here is going to go across as it normally would. So x is less than 4. So what I'm attempting to do when I have this compound inequality, everybody, is I want to identify some value of x that is going to be at the same time where x is greater than 1, but also x is going to be less than 4. So what value would that be? So I'm going to use a line to help me illustrate that. So I want values. Let me change the color here to say lime green. I want a value that is going to be greater than 1. So I'm going to start my line here, but I don't change the size of that. It's a little giant. All right. So I'm going to start that again. I want a value that is, as we know, going to be greater than 1. And I can, at the same time here, everybody, what I want to do is I'm going to put a line there because I know all of the values that are going to be greater than 1. But I also want a value that is less than 4. Okay? So I'm going to, again, change the color here. Set up a line right there again. I want a value that is less than 4. Okay. So at the same time, everybody, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what the overlap is going to be, what the overlap is. And so when I adjust that, okay, and this is going to be an arrow 2, and I apologize for my terrible drawing, everybody. What I'm attempting to figure out, where's my overlap? Okay, where do the two lines overlap? And that just happens to be, and I'm going to use my pen function here, everybody. I'm going to use my red ink. The overlap happens to be there. So any value between 1 and 4, it looks to be, is going to be the overlap. Okay, so if that doesn't make sense, everybody, when I see right here that I'm looking for a value that is greater than 1. So everything greater than 1 is going to be there, okay? Everything less than 4 is going to be here. So where, again, does my overlap occur? And I'll use a different color this time. My overlap occurs there. So, for instance, if I had an answer choice, which of these values actually satisfies this particular statement? So if I had a value of A, B, and C were my answer choices. If I had 5, I had -2, and I had 3. Which one of those is going to satisfy that expression? The only one that's going to satisfy that expression is just 1, because 5 is not part of the overlap. -2 is not part of the overlap, but 3 happens to be part of the overlap. So my answer choice would be C. Okay? I'm hoping that this sort of made sense for everybody. It's just a quick little mini lesson that I wanted you guys to have. And again, as always, I will see you a little bit later in class. Until then, everybody, see you soon.